In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a halftone effect in Inkscape using the Create Tiled Clones tool. This is a really creative technique for turning a regular photo into a clean vector-style halftone portrait made entirely from circles. It's a great effect for posters, artwork, t-shirt designs, and stylized graphics, and the best part is that once you understand the workflow, you can reuse it again and again on any image. If this tutorial helps you out, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more Inkscape tutorials. Alright, let's jump right in. First, open Inkscape and import the photo you want to convert into a halftone. To do that, go up to File, then click Import, or just use Ctrl and I on your keyboard. When the import window appears, choose Embed so the image is stored inside the file, then click OK. Once your photo is on the canvas, keep it selected and go to Filters, then Color, and choose Grayscale. This step is important because halftone effects work best when the software can clearly detect the difference between light and dark areas in the image. When the preview looks right, click Apply. Now let's set up a separate layer for the halftone dots. Open the Layers and Objects panel using Ctrl, Shift, and L. In that panel, click the plus icon to create a new layer. Name it halftone so it's easy to identify later. Make sure this new layer sits above your photo layer. Keeping the dots on a separate layer helps you edit the effect without disturbing the original image, and it also makes the file much easier to manage as you work. Next, select the Circles and Ellipses tool, which you can get with the E key. Draw a small black circle on the canvas. Hold Ctrl while dragging so the shape stays perfectly round. This first circle is going to act as your parent dot, and all of the halftone circles will be generated as clones based on this one shape. If you want a finer halftone with more detail, start with a smaller circle. If you want a bolder, chunkier look, you can use a slightly larger circle, but keep in mind that smaller circles usually create a more detailed result. Now we need to position that circle exactly over the top left corner of the image. This helps the clone grid line up cleanly with the photo. Open the Align and Distribute panel with Ctrl, Shift, and A. In the Relative to dropdown, choose Last Selected. Then hold a Shift and click the image so both the circle and the photo are selected, with the circle still acting as the object to be aligned. Use the Align Left icon and then the Align Top icon to snap the circle into the proper starting position. This step is important because the tiled clone grid will build outward from this point. With only the circle selected, go to Edit, then Clone, and choose Create Tiled Clones. This opens the setup window where the real halftone effect happens. In the Trace tab, check the option that says Trace the drawing under the clones. This tells Inkscape to look at the image beneath the circles and change each clone based on the darkness underneath it. Under Pick from Drawing, choose Color. Then, in the Apply to Clones section, make sure Presence and Size are checked. These settings allow the clone circles to respond to the underlying image so they can shrink, grow, or appear in different intensities depending on the tonal values. At the bottom of the window, set the width and height to match the exact pixel dimensions of your image. This ensures the clone grid covers the full photo properly and keeps the halftone aligned with the artwork. If these dimensions are off, the effect may look stretched, cut off, or uneven, so take a second to double check them before continuing. Once everything is ready, click Create. Inkscape will generate a full grid of circles that vary in size based on the brightness and darkness of the image underneath. Darker areas will usually produce larger or more visible dots, while lighter areas will produce smaller dots or more open space. At this point, you should already be seeing the halftone effect take shape. If the photo still looks too busy or too soft, there are a few easy ways to refine it. First, go back to the Layers and Objects panel and click the eye icon next to the photo layer to hide the original image. This lets you see the pure vector halftone result without the photo underneath distracting from the effect. It's a great way to check whether the dots are giving you the look you want. If the portrait looks too chunky, don't worry, just press Ctrl and Z to undo the clones, then scale your original parent circle down a bit more and create the tiled clones again. Using a smaller starting circle gives you more dots and a higher level of detail, which often makes the image look smoother and more professional. On the other hand, if you want a more graphic, poster-like style, you can keep the circles slightly larger for a bolder look. One of the best parts about using clones is that the entire halftone can be edited globally. Since every dot is linked back to the original parent circle, any change you make to that first circle will instantly update the whole portrait. That means if you want to change the color, alter the shape, or adjust the size, you only need to modify the original circle once. Inkscape will automatically apply that change to every cloned dot in the halftone pattern, which is incredibly useful for fast design adjustments. And that's it. You've now created a halftone effect in Inkscape using create tiled clones and an underlying image. This method is powerful, flexible, and completely vector-based, which makes it perfect for logos, artwork, print designs, and stylized portraits. If this video helped you, please give it a like, subscribe for more Inkscape tips, and let me know in the comments what tutorial you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.